Gather round, it's Mega Podcast 2000!
Hey there, hi there, welcome to the show's Mega Podcast 2K, the hottest pod in Atlanta, motherfucking Georgia. My name is Seth, I'm sitting across from Dana. Dana's feeling some type of way right now.
Well, it's only because my professor of South University, I'm not going to put his name out there, because he's definitely not a listener, but if it ever goes viral and he does listen.
Could be a problem.
Because he doesn't know how to grade papers.
Bastard.
You know? When you go over the limit of the assignment, 5 to 7, and you write an 8, you give over 11 references. Probably only needed 5.
Oh, double.
The
I got doubled down.
Yeah, I doubled up. Headers was looking proper. Subtitles.
Subtitled up.
Had a couple of limited quotes because, in college, you can't be using quotes because that comes back in the Turnitin score. You can't only have a 30% on there. So, your boy has to paraphrase a lot, which requires a lot of critical thinking and writing. So when your professor gives you an 89, which is essentially a low A in college, it's bullshit.
Hello?
Because you deserve an A. When you put that work in, go over the page limit, go over the citations, go over the references, you deserve a 95. And for all of those college students out there in grad school and your master's program and you got a professor that's a little over analytical on your papers, you know what you can do? You tell them, pull up on me, and you take that grading Rubik's that you have, shine it up real nicely, turn it sideways, and shove it right up their candy asses. Because obviously they don't know how to grade papers. So I'm just going to leave it at that. I'm going to get that. I got that out of my system. So, yeah.
I don't even know what this button is. Hold on.
I just want to say from the bottom of my heart.
Yeah. I like to thank no one.
To apologize
for no one.
to absolutely nobody.
No one at South University. I don't care right now because you guys are going to get it from me. You know what I mean? I'm like 7 weeks from graduating, and I have one more class to go, and I have this lame duck that's trying to be fucking Travis or Alex Trebek from Jeopardy, acting like he knows everything, grading my paper. Like, come on, man. This is online. Sit your ass down. All right, I'm done.
Wow. How was, do you feel better now?
I feel a little bit better. It just got me, man, just got me worked up. First thing, I got to wake up, see a text, because, they send grades in through text messages and email. I'm like, oh, yeah, no. And then he graded it. I turned it in at least 12 at midnight. He graded it back the next day. He didn't, obviously.
Did you even read it?
Exactly.
Do you even read it? Professor? I'm going to find you.
I'm going to do the Taken scene where no matter where you go,
feel it.
I will find you.
What else? Anything else besides the paper situaciones?
Yeah, I got this little playback. Hold on, I'm going to play this for y'all. You know what I'm saying? We got...
Back against the private parking industry's practice of booting cars. They say it's predatory, and they're going viral.
It's predatory.
For removing boots from
it
drivers.
Is.
Channel 2's Courtney Francisco is live, and Courtney, they call themselves the Boot Girls.
Let's go. Give them a round of applause.
They sure do, and you'll notice all around Atlanta signs like this in parking lots that say your car will be booted. Well, the Boot Girls provide an alternative.
Yeah.
It may be risky business.
This is our property.
But the Boot Girls are doing it
all day, every day.
Oh my
They say they're
God.
getting calls from drivers who have boots on their
All
wheels
day,
in
every day.
private lots in Atlanta. Now that their videos on social media are starting to go viral.
And it is expanded out of nowhere.
The Boot Girls will swoop in and remove a boot from your car
I love
for a
it.
flat fee of $50. It's controversial because private parking lot company.
Anyways, so all you ATL aliens and Georgians out there, Boot Girls, Christian the Curator, call them up. We're not playing this. Y'all out here booting people, charging them $75, $150 to come take a boot off their car. I told y'all I'm on one right now. It's like A1 sauce. Fuck that. What you're doing is holding people hostage, okay? You private fucks. Just get the law to enforce tickets, because you have to legally pay for those. Those are legally binding, law, not trying to hire some contract to keep people's cars there and hold them hostage. What about an Uber driver that has to work? You're going to just boot their car because it's in a parking spot? Write a fucking ticket. Get the cops to do their jobs and patrol the lots and write tickets out like they do, but trying to lock people's car out. We got the boot girls out here in Buckhead. Shout out to them, call them up. Christian, the curator, call them up.
Wait, so you can call the boot girls?
Yeah. Hit them on the DM. It's social media.
That's wild, though. You would think they're going to get popped so quick.
That's why they have a mask on their face. If you haven't noticed, the boot girls have their mask on. Over 2 of them have masks over their face. So
no, I've seen them. No, they're like real life superheroes.
Yeah. I'm just saying, like, people that don't live here that listen to the pod, they might be like, I wonder who they are or whatever. But
no, but like if I'm a cop, it'd be easy just to be like, hey, come check to this location. And
well,
then
the cops
just
are
be there.
okay with it, remember? Because I showed you, we talked about the home dude Christian.
This is an ongoing situation.
In Atlanta. Boots have been going on here since, I don't even know, man. Like
before cars existed. When they had horses, they had
they're
boots.
just getting out of control, man. You know what I mean? Like they're all over Atlanta, and I just feel like it's just unfair.
Yeah.
It's unfair.
It's interesting that it's become such a thing here.
Mm-hmm. Because you don't think in major cities like New Orleans, Austin, New York, are they booting cars? I doubt it.
Probably towing them in New Orleans.
I'd rather be towed than have a boot. Because at least I know my car's not going to be sitting in the same spot with a boot on it.
Yeah,
in Atlanta where it is risky, come on, you can be.
No, I don't want my shit towed. It's
I'd rather sit in a parking lot, because if you can break down in Edgewood or somewhere around there where your car has a boot on there, that thing might not even have a boot. It might be sitting on blocks by the time you get back.
True.
The windows might be broken out. Your stereo will be gone. So no, I'd rather that tow truck get my shit out of there, put it in the tow bag thing, and I'll come back there and then be mad about having to get it. But no, I don't want my shit sitting nowhere in Atlanta. At all.
Okay.
That's just me personally.
Yeah.
You've got a nice little, Agora. That junk would be gone. That junk would be gone.
It'll be fine.
Nah, hell nah.
Knock on wood.
Hell nah. Dude, I had a dude text me, say, hey, man, are you still stealing cars? I got one right here. He was like, oh, shit, wrong number.
Whoa.
I can show you. I was like, it's all good. But it was an Atlanta number. I was just like, you know what I'm saying? It was just normal. Like, what was I supposed to do? Like, oh, I'm going to take this number, send it to the cops. Like, but he literally said, hey, man, you still jack cars? I got one here for you for about, I'm like,
damn, that's wild.
Yeah.
Wrong Dana.
Yeah.
Wrong Dana.
Yeah.
Jesus. All right. Well, shout out to Boot Girls.
Yeah. Follow. Give them a follow.
Modern day superheroes running around in masks, saving lives.
Yeah.
I want to talk about Shaky Knees. I went to that bitch 2 days ago on a lovely Sunday.
I feel like Shaky Knees hasn't been the same since I last went, which was in 2018, when they had Mars Volta. Woo!
They were there. They were literally
not Mars Volta, at the drive-in. Sorry.
Oh, okay.
Because the members at the two of the member are Omar Rodriguez and the singer are from Mars Volta. So at the drive-in, Deftones, Explosions in the Sky. It was just a litty ass lineup. I feel like the lineup has been kind of lame. I'm not just being honest.
No.
Since that time that I went personally, because it had so many bands that I wanted to see on that list. So it was just like lit.
Yeah, I mean maybe so, but I went Sunday. It was well. Let me just explain the experience. It wasn't the best. Like Friday, Saturday definitely were better days, but those two people I really wanted to see, Flaming Lips, which I've seen like 5 times, and they were just doing Yoshimi Battles of Pink Robots, which is like my favorite album by them. So it was cool to see it live. And then I want to see Father John Misty, which I've never seen, which was really cool. But I biked over to the fest. Immediately, guys are just like trying to sell old wristbands.
Yes, Atlanta.
But here's the thing. No, but here's the thing. If you get an old wristband, like you have to pay through the wristbands now. You know?
Oh,
like,
that's how they do it now?
Yeah, no cash. So here's the thing. If you get a fake wristband or like one that's already used, there's a PIN number you put in. So you're just ass out with buying shit. Like you're going to have to get somebody else to buy you stuff and like Venmo them or something. And they were everywhere. I was like, yo, how much you selling that for? He's like, however much I could get. I'm like, oh, hell no.
Yeah, nah, bro.
So I dip in. I'm wearing this Les Miserables shirt that I got from Lafayette, Louisiana, thrift store, Habibi Thrift. I owe that guy, I don't know. I need to give him money, compliments, shout outs. Go to a Habibi Thrift because I've never got so many fucking compliments. Okay. One girl, this very attractive Asian girl, came up to me and goes, "Oh my God, I love your shirt. Finally, a man of culture." I'm like, "Girl, I've like seen this movie once." I can say Jean Valjean, Anne Hathaway was in that bitch. You know, I literally knew that y'all would like this. That's like why I bought it. You know, I knew I was playing for the crowd.
Right.
But also some theater girls came up, which was, I was a little like, ha, 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 ha. Because it's kind of like one of those things when you see like somebody who clearly doesn't listen to like Motorhead wearing a Motorhead shirt, and it's like
Ace of Spades.
Hell yeah,
The Ace of Spades.
But it's like name 3 songs, and they're like, I just like the graphics,
Right.
You know. So I was
They
on
did that
shit.
to one of my boys. He had a Suicide Tennessee hat on.
Yeah.
Shout out Chad. And he was like, "Yo, what's your favorite song on that record?"
Yeah.
He was like, I don't know, man. I just like the hat." I'm like,
Yeah,
damn, man, you got to know some songs.
yeah, and I only knew that it's like, I dreamed a dream. I don't even know how it goes. A life worth living. It's like right before Anne Hathaway dies. Big spoiler.
There you go. You get it now.
Big spoiler.
Big
I don't care.
spoiler.
Fucking Les Mis is like fucking 200 years old. I've never gotten so many compliments. That was cool. Ego boost. I just want to say some things that I saw.
Air Force Ones.
Cooked Air Force Ones, yes, but a lot of overalls. I saw so many overalls, and I also saw overall bucket hat combination. A lot of people wearing overalls with bucket hats.
I don't get that one.
And then a lot of like 45 to like 55-year-old men with Baby Yoda shirts. I don't know what is going on with that. Like clearly they got them at Target, but just like Baby Yoda doing different cute things.
Yeah.
That was weird. And then, of course, just a lot of baddies. But it was funny because like a few of them, it was like, I think you're dressed up for the wrong festival.
Right.
Like there was a few that were
It's
just
hot as
like,
hell.
no, I mean they're barely wearing anything. They were, but it was like they were going to a rave, you know. And it's like to me, Shaky Knees. Like if I think about like patterns, color patterns on like the vibes, it's gonna be like brown. You know what I mean? It's gonna be more hippie style. You know, it's all like kind of like an indie rock festival. You know,
That's what I think it is.
yeah.
It's just
So it's like girls are coming out
like
in like
Warped
rave
Tour.
fits. Yeah.
like going to see a bunch of bands. Like,
Yeah,
that's it.
yeah. Like there's no DJs,
Yeah.
you know. So those girls like stood out as
Yeah.
like amateurs. Although I did appreciate the fits. And then other than that, yeah, it was great. Father John Misty's awesome, even better live. I'm now going to listen to him even more.
I never heard this guy, so
I love him. He has a album called Fear Fun that to me is like front to back.
let me guess, he's folk.
Folk
Indie rock.
yeah,
I
yeah.
fucking knew it. Like the name even says it's itself.
Yeah, the idea. Well, he was in that band, the Fleet Foxes. He was the drummer.
I still don't even know who they
That
are.
was ultra hipster 2008 folk. And then he broke off and like started his own shit. And he's like a smug asshole. That's like his thing. And I'm like, oh, I can relate to that. It's me pretty much, except
Okay.
for if I was successful.
All right.
So that was cool. Flamin' Lips was cool. I ran into a lot of homies. I was out with my neighbor. But that motherfucker's in VIP.
That's what I did when I went.
Yeah.
I spent like
It's free beer. So
yeah,
he kept running me
and
beer.
you get side access to the side
Yeah.
shows, to the stages. I'm like, when you get older,
Yeah.
I try to tell you this. He don't listen to me. But when y'all get older, you don't want to sit up front with these lames. You got money to spend. Go
Well,
get an extra ticket. Go treat yourself.
I can
when you
get-
get
I can-
older, treat yourself.
But I don't want to.
And
I
he had
didn't want to.
AC sit down rooms, bathrooms. I was like, yo, I'm here for this.
I don't know. I'm a soldier, but
Yeah, you stay a soldier.
Yeah.
I'll be on the other side with my nice cold sitting.
But here's the thing, though. I wouldn't. I could understand VIP, but not
No.
for that day. You
Oh,
know,
no,
it would have been like it would have been like $300, $400 for
I'm
like.
sorry, we did do that for a day. We paid for one because I just wanted to see.
No, but
okay.
if the bands were like smacking.
Oh, yeah.
Because like, I'm not gonna lie, I might have eaten a mushroom chocolate. I might have. All right, I might have been feeling kind of wavy, and
Wavy,
like
baby.
And then so like I come out of Flaming Lips, like having existential thoughts.
Yeah.
I'm like thinking about my life and like childhood. I'm like tearing up. Like I'm like,
Damn, you're the second person that told me they cried there. This dude at my gym said he went there and he was like, he started, he was like, I kind of cried.
I think I saw your boy with the truck.
Oh yeah,
was he there?
I don't know. He might.
I
I think I did see his story.
I think
he was
him.
there. Yeah,
yeah. I think I saw him just like chilling by the tennis courts. That's the other thing is like I'm like literally watching Flaming Lips. Like, damn, I used to play co-ed soccer here. It's like the same field I play on. It's like we fucking it up. No wonder it's always shitty. But I cry all the time. And I don't know what it is about music, but it just makes me like not like
No. This dude at my gym said he's a piano player and he hasn't been in part of the band. Long story short, he was at Shaky Knees. And he was I was feeling me. It's like I forgot what it's like to be on stage and
it's like a connection. Yeah. It's a deeper thing, an access point to the inner whatever. But I had a great time. It was one thing to me that was the coolest part. Oh wait, I didn't even tell you. The band Live?
Sounds familiar.
I saw them as well, which was like Gen X, like packed. Like I've never seen so many tribal tattoos. One guy had like a like Saint Michael slaying the devil.
Oh yeah,
he had that, but Saint Michael had a AR-15 and was just like shooting the devil in the face, and it was like U.S. Marines. Like what? Like, wow. That's wild.
Yeah.
But Live is that song. I can feel it coming back again. You don't remember that one?
Oh, hell no.
God damn it.
Man, your boy don't be diving in to that butt rock.
It's butt rock.
Yeah, your boy don't go there.
But these people, one guy goes, because I was watching it. It was actually kind of a fun show because like, oh yeah, 90s. But one guy was like, man, hit after hit. I'm like, what are you talking about?
I would have laughed at him as soon as he said
I kind of did. I was like, what
crazy?
the fuck? But then, and then also while I was waiting for Flaming Lips, Hozier was playing, like, take me to church.
Oh, I know now. Yeah. See, you say the song, and I'm like, I'm not good with these the names. But you say that was LeBron. They ran that commercial forever. I couldn't stand that fucking commercial. It was like, take me to church. We
were all singing it, waiting for the Flaming Lips. Like, it was just so stupid. Hozier's like modern day Creed, like straight up. But like, he had waves and waves of like girls and fans, and then they closed the closing act. I was like really like feeling the vibes, and it was the Lumineers.
Okay,
and I think
what song do they sing?
I don't. They're one of those bands that says, "Hey."
Oh, that
yeah. One of the hey,
yeah.
And I was like, oh hell no.
They're one of those popular folk indie rock bands.
And then like these girls are like hugging each other, like I'm like I gotta get out.
You gotta get out of here. Yeah, I feel you, bro. I would have had the same exit. I'm like, we gotta go.
The energy was not right, so I just biked home, and then I just went go bike around the Beltline, just like enjoying the rest of my experience. But yeah, Shaky Knees. I'm gonna give it a power 2.
At least it was something to do.
A lot of people had like a really good time, but I don't know if they know what a good time is.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like I think that you're right. Sunday wasn't the best for sure. But I mean, people enjoyed it. But I'm like, y'all wait till you go to a real festival. Yeah. It's gonna blow your fucking mind. Let's get into this bitch. Shoo! All right, first up, we're doing The Order of Myths.
All right.
On Netflix.
I got a good question for you because this was a kind of a podunk type of film on Netflix. It came out in 2008. It's nothing crazy. I'm not going to get too much into this, but this gave me a little in-depth history about Mobile, Alabama, and a little bit of Louisiana. So where was the first Mardi Gras at?
Mobile, Alabama.
My guy, let's go. So this show, Myth of the Order, is essentially talking about how Mobile, Alabama celebrates 2 different types of Mardi Gras. One's for white people and the other is for the black people. And remember I gave a little bit of I forgot what I reviewed, but it was about that last slave ship or whatever in Alabama.
Yeah.
That same family, the Murs, they're like run this like so. For y'all that don't know about Mardi Gras, okay, the origin of Mardi Gras can be traced to the medieval Europe, passing through Rome and Venice in the 17th and 18th century to the French House of Bourbon. From here, the tradition rivalry of I don't even Boeuf. You're from there.
Boeeu.
Yeah, it's like it's a
Buff.
Yeah, I just don't want to. It could be like a New Orleans word. I just don't want to
like Shia LaBeouf.
I don't want to like disgrace. So it's like fat calf followed by France to her colonies. On March 2nd, 1699, French Canadian explorer John Baptiste, well, I'm not saying his whole name, arrived at the plot ground 60 miles directly south of New Orleans, named it to Point du Mardi Gras. So, since 1703, Fort Louis de Leon, Mobile celebrated America's first Mardi Gras. In 1704, established a secret society.
Ah.
Yeah, so this myth or order literally talks about the two separate cultures of Mardi Gras. One for black culture, that's in Mobile, Alabama, they celebrate, and they have these kings and queens. I didn't know there was kings and queens of Mardi Gras, first of all. I mean, I didn't know.
Hundreds of them.
Bro, sorry, I didn't know. But they represent, like, they literally are like, so like, the white part of Mobile is like super fancy, like long
decadent
gowns, like almost
it's like
a,
what do they call that when what is that? Okay, keep going.
It's just essentially like
it's like a ball.
It's literally like a ball. Yeah, no, you're right. It's
yeah.
like a ball. Super they were literally
debutante. It's like a debutante type thing, but like for adults.
But the difference between black and white is so dramatic. Like they're eating gold spoons and forks in Mobile, and then the black ones are just, let's say, they're not nowhere near as fancy as what that's going on. But I was not necessarily too concerned about
They're
that.
more lit though.
Yeah. Oh yeah. But it was just cool to see that Mobile, they had interviews like, black people, they do their own and we go to theirs, and we have ours. So it's not like it's a town that's accepted that they have two separate Mardi Gras. You know what I mean? Like they both, instead of having one, like New Orleans probably might have one that's separate.
No,
they don't?
New Orleans, same thing.
Okay.
It's segregation.
I mean, I don't, bro. Yeah. I mean, I'm watching this. To me, it's
Lafayette.
You know what I mean?
Lafayette is kind of one. Mm-hmm. Everybody does it, but to be honest, it's the white people that are running all the crews.
Mm-hmm. So like the black people were having from Mobile to rent the floats from
the white people.
From white, yeah, because
same as Lafayette. Like, and they have. I don't know, but like Lafayette's way more fucking segregated. Mm-hmm. But New Orleans, you have like Zulu. Mm-hmm. That's like a very historic black crew. Mm-hmm. A crew is just like a parade, like a club that has a certain parade, blah, blah, blah. There's a king and queen. And Zulu's famous. They like throw coconuts. Like that's a big thing. They actually do like, it looks like blackface. It's kind of weird. They do that. But that's like a famous one. But then you have like the biggest ones are Endymion, Bacchus, and Orpheus. Those are the big three. Mm-hmm. And then Muses, that's an all women's one as well.
Yeah,
they're all white.
That's what I'm saying. And there's like probably in like New Orleans and Louisiana, there's multiple Mardi Gras in Mobile that all have different their own meanings, right? Like there's one that's like, we don't exclude anybody, but there's like only one white person a part of their thing, right? That's part of it.
Right.
But it's just, I find it more fascinating that they're all cool with it. Like, you wouldn't be able to go to the Mardi Gras in Mobile for the whites because that's tradition. Like there's no black people in the Mardi Gras in Mobile for that.
I mean, they probably, like, they probably don't let them in.
Yeah.
Like, cause you have to like pay your way in.
Yeah. It's like, if you're not like, they go like lordship, like families, almost like over there, how
still
in Mobile,
like Endymion's like that.
Right. And so for me, it's educational because I, of course, did not know I thought Mardi Gras started in Louisiana or, New Orleans. Yeah. Most people you're from the area, so you're educated in this culture. As for most people,
you taught me some shit. I'm not gonna lie. I know the Venice thing. Makes sense though.
I didn't even know. With the whole slave ship, but they brought that all in there, and because they're all from Mobile, Alabama.
So there's like a documentary.
It is a documentary, hour and 37 minutes.
Oh, you got to tip me. I gotta watch this.
It's like I said, it came out in 2008, so it's like kind of like not, like, you know what I mean? That's why I said it's podunk.
Cameras
not
as great,
But you find the cultural differences amazing. To me, that's what's so fascinating. Like they're throwing out moon pies.
Yeah, that's a thing.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
For me, in public health, that's like the worst thing to see something like that you're throwing out moon
Well,
pies.
they usually are wrapped in plastic.
Right, and I know they did that because they didn't want to throw out hard things from the float. I get that. But when you're thinking about, they're giving interviews to kids and they're talking about how much they love moon pies.
Well, because of sugar, you're saying? Well, Halloween is worse.
Bro, I get it. But at the same time, it's like systematic in redoing the same things.
Yeah.
Like you could be, and you know, it's like, you pass out anything up in there, like how to go from beads to moon pies, you know, lure. That's why I'm saying
they
it's
all
kind of like,
they're different. I bet they throw beads and moon
and the moon pie factory is based in Mobile, Alabama.
Yeah.
So it's a story, but it's still, to me, find it a little kind of weird how you know, some people can get addicted to certain things. Well, if it's a byproduct of your environment and you're eating nothing but these things, and you might be susceptible to certain diseases or health complications because,
I mean, guess, but it's
just
a bit nitpicky because Valentine's Day is full of candy.
True,
Halloween,
but it's just like, why are they obsessed with moon pies? They're so
Christmas,
weird.
bark.
Like, to me, I don't think moon pies are that good. So I'm watching it and I'm like, I love moon pie. When I bite into a moon pie, I'm like,
no, thank you. Yeah.
A moon pie? Like, they haven't gave him a Krispy Kreme donut, or, you know what I'm saying? Like, there's other things that are better than a fucking moon pie.
That's tradition
so,
for you.
Yeah. So it's, to me, on that purpose, this documentary, Order of Myth, is it's a power 3.
Oh, nice.
Because it's super educational, and I felt like I learned a lot about Mobile, Alabama, before I even knew about it. Like, my uncle lives in Mobile. I have family there. But as far as Mardi Gras and the history, I learned so much about Mardi Gras. You know, I know I didn't know, like I said, I thought it started in New Orleans. But, you know, it dates back to Mobile, Alabama. But the first cocktail was invented in New Orleans. So, you know, certain things that French culture and they brought over, it's just spread it out from like Alabama to, you know. So I thought I just thought that was cool because they even said in the film, well, I had to do a little research. So it was New Orleans was established in, so the 1704 Mobile established the first Mardi Gras, right? So New Orleans was established in 1718. So by that time, the mid 1730s Mardi Gras was celebrated in New Orleans, but not with parades. We know today, in the early 1740s, Louisiana Governor Mardi Gras, crazy ass name, established elegant society balls, which became the model for New Orleans Mardi Gras ball of today. So it was like, it wasn't even like a parade back then. It was just, like you said, more like a bar, like fancy, smancy. Yeah. And then I guess it translated.
People in masks getting fucked up.
Right. Yeah. And that was another thing, that they had these old crusty ass white dudes and these girls that are like being like, kind of like, what was that movie or the show on Netflix where, Bridgertons. It's like literally, like Bridgertons. Like they're girls in the Mobile white part of the Mardi Gras, and they're getting courted by all these like older white guys with masks on.
Yeah.
And the older white guys was like, yeah, you know, these parties are cool because, you know, you don't know who you are. They don't know who you are because the girls are obviously not wearing masks, but the guys are. So it just makes it super creepy that these white dudes are just grabbing these young girls.
Kind of like Eyes Wide Shut.
Yeah, with Tom Cruise and
Nicole
Kidman before the forehead shots. But yeah, because you haven't seen Undone yet.
Oh, no, I've seen her.
Okay,
lack
I didn't know. Yeah.
Movement.
She can't like do no movement up there. But this very educational.
And then I mean, on top of that, there's Cajun Mardi Gras. So like we do it in Lafayette or like in the outskirts, even weirder. Like that's a whole nother thing. So there's different types of Mardi Gras. And then I mean, you want to take it even deeper. You got Carnival in Brazil. You know, it's all the same shit.
It's just crazy, man. It was very educational. That's all. It was.
Oh, I'm glad.
Hot damn.
You liked it. You put me on game.
Fucking New Orleans, bro.
I mean, they're not far from each
they're
other.
They're really not. That's what's so crazy.
And they're both ports.
Yeah.
You know, so it's
that's
like,
exactly. Yeah.
They probably were trading, you know, easy to get to. Back in, I mean, because like other than that, like taking a road through like, it's dense, you know, a lot of swamp, you know, woods, blah, blah, blah. So
you really sounded like from New Orleans when you said swamp there.
Swamp.
Yeah. Just came out real hard.
Whatever. All right, next up we have Love and Death. David E. Kelly, he did Big Little Lies is what he did.
Oh, yeah, I love that one. That's a good one.
But the problem with this show, Love and Death, is that it is the same story as Candy from Hulu.
Oh, wow.
With Jessica Biel.
Yeah.
So I've seen it. and I actually liked Candy. I thought it was like pretty
I
good.
remember you said you liked it.
Yeah, it wasn't like groundbreaking or like shooting for like an Emmy type beat, because I mean it is Jessica Biel in the end. But I thought she did a great job. And when I watched Candy, I didn't know how it ended, or I can't, you have an idea, but you don't really know unless you Google it.
The story, yeah.
Yeah, kind of like the Chippendale show as well. So, and I watched it, and Candy came out like not even a year ago.
Nah, like
so
at least 2, I would say.
No.
Like the Hulu version, I feel like that was recent.
That was like probably 6 months ago, max.
Okay.
I mean, that's not that long ago.
Yeah.
It just, HBO happened to have done it a little bit later. So I watched the first episode, and it's just really hard for me to care because I kind of know everything that happens. Now, there is different stuff, so that's interesting with like historical fiction because they're just like filling in blanks, with like weird shit that like she might have done.
Because they don't know for sure.
Yeah, you don't know everything.
That was like
happened.
that show I told you about the robbery. Like
Yeah.
they added the girl in there. It's
Right,
like,
right.
Didn't happen, but you got to put some things in there.
Like she's way more like analytical and like organized and like pragmatic about, because basically it's about a woman who has an affair and then some crazy shit happens from the affair. I'll just say that. And in the first episode, like you see the like affair unfold. But the way she like plans it out in this one is just like way more like
Methodical.
yes, like it's ridiculous how much thought she puts into it. It's like the most unsexy thing on the planet, you know? But I will say this though. If I'm Candy, I think
She's still alive?
I think she's still alive. If I'm Candy, I'm hyped because I had Jessica Biel play me and Elizabeth Olsen. I had two baddies playing
Damn,
me.
Elizabeth Olsen.
That's what I'm saying.
Haven't seen her in a while.
WandaVision.
Yeah. Wow.
Or Doctor Strange.
Yeah.
But I don't know if I'm gonna be able to watch. I think there's 4 episodes out, and I don't know if I care enough because I already know the story. I already know it.
That's the same thing when I see something that I've kind of watched already, or someone's did it, and then someone else is doing it again, and you're like, I think I already know. Of course, you already know what goes on, so it's kind of like how it's hard to stay attached to it.
Yeah, but this one's definitely like shot better and like more creatively shot. Yeah, it's HBO.
Yeah.
Higher production value, but like I said, I really think the original one was like pretty fucking good. I will say it was like very yellow in tone, like sepia almost, and this one's like the opposite. So that's interesting, like just to see like little choices, but I don't know. This might be a watch. I'm very conflicted and I'm biased. I will say if you've never seen Candy, you'll probably like this one though.
More than the Hulu.
Yeah, I'm just a little biased, so check
You
that
swipe
out.
it?
I
Finished it. That's right. Yeah.
How it ends.
Yo, this one's not rated. It came out in 2018. It is an hour and 54 minutes.
I think I've heard of this one.
It's starring my boy, Forrest Whitaker. And it has my guy from The Divergent, Theo James. It also has... I think that's about all
He was
the
in
names.
White Lotus as well.
Okay. That's all those two guys, Forrest Whitaker, Theo James, were Divergent. This dude was amazing in Divergent. That's like a 3-swipe series of movies. If you haven't seen it, it's pretty good. I think it's about 4 of them. I think it's a book, if I'm not mistaken.
Oh, yeah.
But it's pretty good. Forrest Whitaker, he's been doing his thing, Panic Room. He was in Black Panther. He's been dabbling. Yeah, he's been in and out. I feel like
Ghost Dog Way the Samurai.
Oh yeah, stop playing. I love that one. This one is a man who fights through an unfolding apocalypse in a desperate attempt to return to his pregnant wife, who is 1,000 kilometers away, which she's in Seattle.
What does that even mean?
He's in Seattle.
What are kilometers?
Wife, that's why I don't know why they even did that. She's in Seattle, and this dude's in California, and so he's getting on a plane. I'm not going to spoil it, but big spoiler
in this bitch.
Try not to. And he's not married, but he's dating Forrest Whitaker's daughter, and it starts off like he's trying to get to know the daughter. They goes or his girlfriend's father. They go over he goes over for a dinner. The daughter's not there. She's in Seattle. And Forrest Whitaker and Theo James, obviously the chemistry is not there because, you're dating my daughter, blah, blah, blah. You know, that type of thing.
You better take care
Vanessa
of my
Williams,
child.
shout out, my girl. Woo, she still look good. She plays Forrest Whitaker's wife.
Good for him.
Nicole,
Is that the girlfriend?
that the girlfriend is, I'm trying to find her right now, is Kate Graham. I don't know what she's in. I don't think she's been in anything like too
I don't see
relevant.
Vanessa Williams on
It's
it.
not Vanessa Williams. It's
Kat Graham. Or
It's,
is it Grace Dove?
It's Nicole R.E. Parker. She also looks like Vanessa Williams. Could be her doppelganger. Could be her fill-in.
Okay. Yeah,
Yeah, it kind of looks like her. Like, seriously. Like, you were like, oh my gosh.
Pretty eyes.
Right. Because Vanessa Williams has those, like,
like
you
green
know,
eyes.
Right.
Yeah.
So something happens. You don't know because even in this movie, they don't tell you.
Yeah.
So I can't give you anything.
Yeah, it's
like
this
literally,
ominous
it
end.
literally ends. Like, remember how Cloverfield? They never really
Wait,
showed
don't.
you.
Are you big spoiler territory right now?
How would I split?
You said how it ends. It literally ends.
It doesn't tell you. It
Well,
doesn't, I mean, it doesn't tell
but
you.
that's
You
kind of a spoiler, isn't
No,
it?
it's not, because you're like, when you're watching it, you're like,
Yeah, but to know that you don't get the satisfaction of an
it's not
answer
like you
is
don't
kind
know.
of a
Some
spoiler.
people, it's like one of those things you can interpret it on your own. Like, it could end this way. The director said it could end this way. It's one of those things you interpret it where you watch
Yeah.
it and it's like, okay,
Yeah, take
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 whatever
what
you got
want.
with it. It's
Yeah.
not an official closing to a movie. That's
Okay.
not giving
All
anything
right,
away.
all right.
You're making me be big spoiler when I'm not even being
All
big
right,
spoiler.
I'm just checking, checking.
Nothing, you can't tell what happens because you just don't know. So he's just trying to get to his girl throughout this. So just imagine a guy trying to get to your girl in a world.
It's kind of like War of the Worlds.
That's
like
yeah,
the Tom
it's like War of the
Cruise-
Worlds, but
He's got to get to like the family or his like wife or something.
essentially, but there's no aliens.
Okay. Oh, another spoiler. No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding. I'm
You're
kidding.
comparing it to World of Wars, which has aliens. I'm sorry.
I'm kidding.
It's just more like apocalyptic and humans being unhuman.
Yeah.
When you have no power in the world, like Badlands and shit, it's
And
just
everybody,
crazy.
it's
Like,
anarchy.
everybody
and-
for themselves, man.
Yeah.
That's all I can really give you. I know Forrest Whitaker gives a powerful performance, and so does the chemistry between him and Theo James, because it's literally them two, and the camaraderie and their acting together is really good. It almost puts you in their shoes and in that vicinity of the range what they're acting in. You almost feel like you're part of this little travel that they're
Well,
on.
that's the point.
And it's like, oh my gosh, would you do this? Would you do
Yeah.
that? Would you have done this? You know, or, you know, were your morals and
Yeah,
ethics
some
come
hard
in crosses
choices. Yeah.
in certain situations? Well, I don't know. Like, you know, because it's every man, every woman for themselves. I've never been in that predicament, but most movies you've seen, you know that ethics and morals are compromised. So that's what's really good in this, because Forrest Whitaker, and of course, he's the father trying to make it to his daughter, and the home dude trying to make it to his girlfriend. So, you know, you got that thing, you know,
Yeah.
where they're both are on the way to go get someone that they love about, you know, care about. So,
Okay.
and the graphics on it came out in 2018, which is crazy because I feel like it's shot hella good. Like, I'm talking about like cinematography is on like a whole nother level. So it's weird because I was thinking like it gives you, when you look at the cover of the movie, you're thinking like, oh, this is about to be like action packed, but it's not. It's more like serious, like
Yeah, it
acting.
seems like that movie The Road.
It's like
ever
if you
seen
had,
that.
yeah, seen the road.
know?
Yeah, it's like when you put two people in a movie like this, you got to make sure they know how to act, right?
Yeah.
It's not like you can stick two people in this and they can't, they're subpar,
Yeah,
because the movie would
and
be
their chemistry
horrible.
has to be right.
It's almost like you had to have Forrest Whitaker, someone with his
Yeah.
statue, and then you had to have Theo James, who's nowhere has a record as Forrest Whitaker, but he can act.
He's good in White Lotus. I mean, he
Exactly.
did White Lotus after this, but he's really good in that.
The director of this did Jacob's Ladder, The Perfect Guy, No Limits.
Jacob's Ladder. That's a classic. Cult,
David
that's a cult
M.
classic.
Rosenthal. David M. Rosenthal.
Okay.
So it's I'm going to give this a 3 swipe. Like I said, I watched it actually before I came here. It's an hour and 54 minutes. So it's on Netflix. Rotten Tomato gives it 17%. 1 out of 5 of Common Sense. 5 out of 10 on
You said
IM
17%?
on Rotten.
That's not good.
Yeah, but IM gives it a middle, 5 out of 10. So
Okay,
that goes
okay.
to show you that Rotten Tomatoes a little off. I think when Rotten Tomatoes, I think is like, oh, I want to watch something that's good, has name brand actors and high film costs, and then Rotten Tomatoes like 100%, you know. But if it's like, I feel like if it's some serious acting going on, Rotten Tomatoes is going to be like, I don't got time to be watching no acting.
I don't know. They're weird though. I will say
down.
I just don't even trust them anymore. I'll say that.
I'm more of a IMDb
because I'm going to movies that I thought were absolute shit, and they've gotten like an 88%. And
right.
I'm like, what the fuck? There's no way. Exactly. There's just no way.
Exactly. So yeah, stop, watch this if you got time. It's a little 2 hour long, but watch it at night. I should have watched it at night. It would have looked a lot better, but it's okay.
Shoo! Next up, we have Ted Lasso. The season's like pretty much done. I think there's 1 or 2 episodes left. Look, if y'all are followers of the pod, I'm a newer fan. This season has gone off the rail. It is bad.
That's why I'm glad I haven't started it yet.
I remember early, like a few weeks back, I kind of said that it felt aimless because, like, you know, the first season had like a point to it especially with the team. Yeah. Second season,
power same. 3 swipes for the first season all day, baby.
I mean, the second season I thought was a power 3 as well,
and then they followed up, which is, you know.
But the problem with this now is that, like, the show's kind of a bummer now. It feels more of you used to feel good. I feel like every time we do the pod, they're doing
Is he out there?
No, it's who he's paying.
Oh, okay.
I swear, but they must come on Tuesday during the day. These fucking assholes. Y'all probably can't hear it. I hope you can't. But yeah, it's just a bummer now. And also just aimless, and there's certain storylines that I'm like, why are we even focused? What does this have to do with soccer or like the squad?
Well, season 2 is like mental health. I felt like that's all it was really
season
about.
3 is there as well.
Yeah, and that's kind of what made me not want to tune into this one so much, because I was watching season 2 and I was like, this is great. This is all about this dude.
Yeah.
Freaking out, you know what I'm saying? Like,
but you would think that, like, and as somebody who's going to therapy now, like, you know, you don't get fixed. You know, it's always going to be a thing. But as a TV show, you would think you would kind of move past that, especially because I feel like they wrapped up that arc.
They did.
You know, and then it's still kind of there, which I mean is realistic, but it just feels like Ted Lasso has become like a very small part of the show. It, like, I think last time I talked about it, I was like, it should be called, like, I don't even know, soccer team and PR girl, you know, workplace sitcom. But like he's like barely in it now. Some of the stuff, same as Mandalorian, some of the big arcs, like the overarching things that go from like season to season have fell apart.
Left you with a hello kind of impression. Like, what are you doing?
Hello.
Right?
Well, it's just like when you do that, it kills the replay value, because then it's like it's same as like Game of Thrones. When I go rewatch the show, if I ever do, I'm like, well, this arc just falls apart. So it's like, why do I even care right now? You know, it's like you got to complete it properly. Especially, I know it's hard to wrap things up, but it's like you got to stick the landing.
Right.
But I want to bring this up though, the show, because this last episode, I think it's episode 6 or 7. There's this scene where they sing "Hey Jude." It is one of the worst episodes I've ever seen. It was so, I was cringing. It was really hard to watch. Wow. And it was predictable, and it was just like, this is bad. Like, this show's bad, and I don't know why. I don't know what happened, because same writers. You know, it's just, I think they fucked up, lost their way. It's supposed to be a comedy, and now it just straight up feels like a drama.
Right.
But it's not a good drama either. So I don't know. I'm gonna swipe it just because I don't care about the ending anymore. I'm gonna give it
breaking tradition,
a 1 swipe.
Ooh.
Well, I mean, they fucking. I feel like
good. I don't care.
I know, but I feel like they tanked it.
Yeah, yeah.
It feels like a tanker.
I know it's gonna make you feel better though. Yo,
Shoo.
Top Boy 2 or 3 is coming, whatever season it's coming in fucking June.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I've seen the trailer already. Your boys they already released a trailer for it.
Well, there's something else too.
You know how I was one of those things where I wake up and I'm like, I'm so thankful Seth told me about Top Boy.
Bear.
I saw that too.
That's June as
well.
Yeah,
I was like, I'm so glad he told me about Top Boy, because that shit, I'd probably watch that shit. That was probably the quickest thing I've ever binged.
Oh, I love that show.
because it's
And
like,
I've rewatched it.
it's so good.
Yeah, I can't wait.
It's so good. It's so good. I cannot wait until this fucking thing comes
And it's
out.
going to be interesting where they go with it.
Yeah,
Because you already know.
I just don't know.
Yeah.
Like I'm like,
Yeah, I don't
there's
know.
so many possibilities because it's so good. You know, like
Uh-huh.
that's what I love about Top Boy. I know we've something we've already watched and reviewed, but
Yeah.
this show is like it has like 7 different angles. And they finish them all. Like, you know, there's like, there's this, that, and somehow they can pull all the things in Top Boy together. And
Yeah.
it's just like so magically put together so
What's
well.
what's the dude's name? Dufresne?
Dufresne? Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like him and Ted Lasso have the same anxiety attack.
Oh, yeah. He has that. Yeah, he has that.
They both have like anxiety attacks.
And I'm feeling like they're going to have to. And from when the trailer it says, what's his
know.
homeboy name? Is
Ay, cabrón. What is his
I
name?
know. It doesn't matter, but he's like,
Sully?
Sully. He's like,
Yeah.
Sully's like, man, in this life, we're either food or monsters. He says, there's no way I can be food. So you
No
already
way.
knew oh my
Yeah.
God, when he said that, I was like, you already knew because the
Yeah.
way season 2 or the last season ended,
Oh, yeah.
they ended on, they both were not feeling each
Yeah,
other.
yeah.
They were
'Cause
both like,
Sully has no soul in the game.
at the game. He's like, either
savage.
we're going to do this all the way
Yeah.
or we're going to do this not at all.
Yeah, he has no heart.
Duchesne's like, bro, I'm trying to retire. I'm not trying to
Duchesne.
do this. That was
Yeah.
his, I just remember his mom always calling him Duchesne or whatever.
No, yeah. No, he had too much. He has too much heart.
Yeah, and his mom. I'm sorry to spoil it, but fuck it. His mom passes away.
Yeah,
you know,
yeah,
that's
yeah.
where I think he's like, all right, man, like
Yeah,
this is I gotta stop. You know,
yeah,
like
yeah. I gotta get out
and,
this. So we'll
I
see.
think that's how it's gonna.
Yeah,
I
don't.
think that's,
Okay.
I can't wait. I'm telling you,
I
I'm
know.
more excited about this than the Bear because
Oh, I
Top
don't
Boy
know.
is just.
I don't know.
Top Boy is like. It's in every. It's like you see hoods in America all the time, but when you see it in London for some
Yeah.
fucking reason,
It's a weird angle.
It's just a weird ass angle.
Yeah.
And their lingo
Yeah, it's the best.
is
Bro,
the best. And there's not that many cops in London as like in the States. Like
I
they can
guess.
just walk around and just be like,
Well, they don't have the guns.
they just. It is. I don't think there's a very heavy police force in overseas like it is in the States. Like we have like cops.
I guess I'm not
troopers.
gonna
I just-
go off of
whenever
the
you-
show. I
Well,
don't know because I don't know.
Well, all right, put it in this perspective, bro. They have like roads in European that you can just go crazy on. You can't do that here in the
Well, like
States.
the Autobahn,
You know what I'm
yes.
saying? Like, you can go to Germany and between these
Yeah, the
countries where it's
Autobahn.
like, you know, and I'm just saying there's no state trooper.
Yeah,
Like,
because
you know what I mean? Like-
because the people are
Like when
more
they,
educated and have more like pride.
I
in
understand,
things.
but I think there's a less police presence overseas where in the United States, there's tons of cops.
Yeah.
And
Oh yeah.
tons
We
of
have like
every-
the worst cops.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like that's all I'm saying.
Yeah.
Compared to like, so when you see crime over there, it's like where 50 cops might show up here, there might be 2 cops in England might pull up to the spot. You know,
Yeah.
where it's like, so Top Boy gives you that
No.
feel where it's like the slums over here are a lot different from the slums in America. Almost like, you know, they operate on a different. You know, it's just. I feel like they give a great depiction of how shit runs over there. For what I feel
Okay.
like, you know,
Yeah.
like streets over here are a little bit different. You know what I mean? They operate here different compared to where they depict over there because they're depicting the hood. You know, like how it operates. You know what I mean? Like pulling licks. Just they ain't saying licks over here, bruv. You know, over there. You know
No,
what I'm
they
saying?
say hitting licks.
They hit licks.
Yeah, hitting a lick. That's when you like rob a drug dealer.
Or you ain't gonna
Kiss
that's
his
all
teeth on the subtitles.
throughout
Kiss his
all
teeth.
the way throughout the
Yeah.
whole every season. You're always gonna get that. They didn't stop that shit at all. Like
Yeah. Isn't it
isn't it?
fun? All right,
I
fine.
can't-
We got to
I'm
keep going.
I'm hyped. I'm ready for it.
Sure. All right, keep that energy for Vanquish.
Well, this is gonna hit the next button. Hit that shit right now. Hit that shit right now. Yo,
Next.
Ruby Rose. Now, all right.
Didn't you just do something with her in it? Weren't we talking about her recently? Like last episode?
Now, I seen this chick come on board, Orange is the New Black. You know.
Yeah.
She made her way in. A very easy role, I might say, because she came in at the time as a girl that's tatted, looks good. Easy to put her in there and make her who she was, right? So automatically fan, lover. Even when I saw her enter Orange is the New Black, I was like, oh yeah, this, boom, okay, I like this, blah, 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 right? We're going to fast forward. Next time I see her, I was telling him I saw her in some, like, I don't know if it was Resident Evil or whatever. She ends up getting killed in an exhaust fan. Not many lines. still hard to judge if she's a really good actress, right?
What a way to go.
I'm not trying to like be hard on people because I like watching movies. So then, fast forward a little bit sooner, I see her in John Wick. She plays a fucking mute. No lines.
Fucking mute.
Like no lines at all. And I'm like, you're trying to like, Seth doesn't like John David Washington, but John David Washington has a resume of lines that you can judge him on. Whereas Ruby Rose,
I mean, he's better than her.
Oh my goodness. She needs to hang it up. Oh. She needs to hang it up. IMDb, who we mostly go with, 2.9 out of 10. Rotten Tomato, 5%. This is fucking bad. I mean, Morgan Freeman, Ruby Rose are probably about the only people you'll recognize in this.
Oh, yeah, this is bad.
And it is bad. I'm talking about this might ruin her career. It's that bad.
Well, I think her career is
well, no. This will do it. This will put the nail in the coffin because I know you guys won't watch this because
they covered up all her tattoos.
It is bad. It's like they took John Wick and it was like, we're gonna do this, but with a female, and we're gonna make her all the scenes. I mean, Seth, like the videography is bad. I'm talking about like it's bad. Like cameraman, storyline, acting.
It looks cheap.
It is just bad.
And
like
Morgan Freeman's in this. He's just is he in debt? Like, what is he doing?
I think he's in the same thing with like Bruce Willis, John Travolta, where they just throwing out movies. Like I've seen like 3 movies that Bruce Willis is on Hulu right now. I'm like, Bruce Willis, what do you do? Like they're just out there, right? They're just throwing these actors are just like, but you know what? Morgan Freeman has enough roles to carry him till after he dies.
Yeah.
First of all. So Bruce Willis has enough roles to carry him after he dies.
Of course.
Ruby Rose.
Yeah, she's trash.
Dude.
I mean, we all know this.
All she can hang her hat on is Orange is the New Black.
Yeah.
I'm like, I'm trying to figure out.
I think she was like Batgirl.
She was in Return of Alexander Cage and X, she was horrible.
I think she was in the Meg.
She was in Batwoman from 2019 to 22. She wasn't good in that.
Well, they've replaced her.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, they got somebody else. Yeah,
Pitch Perfect 3, no bueno. You know what I'm saying? It's just like, I don't know what to. I feel like if there is a perfect role for her, she was in. That's what it was. Resident Evil, the final fucking chapter. She fucking dies in an exhaust fan. She gets sucked up. Like, I don't know, man. But I just feel like she's choosing the wrong films. They're not helping her out. Oh, she was also in Red Notice, Sass. That was horrible.
I didn't even watch that.
It was bad. It's another Netflix movie. She was also in Red Notice. Bad.
Can you just say that?
No, this is a different Sass. S-A-S.
Oh, Sass.
Yeah, Red Notice is one of those things with another double title thing, you know? But Vanquish, man, this has got to be her worst. This has got to be her worst film ever. I feel bad for her because, like, if I was her, I'd have been like, I'm not doing this. Like, this is a horrible film. Like, I don't know if they paid her tons of money to being this.
Yeah.
But I would have turned this down. Hands down.
I'm watching her die in an exhaust fan right now. Because I think you talked about this like a week ago.
I did. And
I just got to see it.
You got to see it because it's bad. It's like, that's the way she goes out. And
you know how strong that wind would have to be. Oh, wait, somebody else got it. Wait.
She dies in it too.
Wait, it cut it off before she dies.
Oh, okay. Trust me.
But some guy fell in it. It looked bad. Not even like a good death. Not even like...
And I watched that Resident Evil. And that was a bad one too.
Yeah, I watched it. It was better than a lot of the other ones, but that's not saying much. All right, moving on. Let's get past this shit.
Get out.
Let's not spend any more time.
It was bad. Yeah, let's get it out. Next it. That shit was bad.
Shoo! This is put you on game type shit. HBO has another show out, White House Plumbers, with Justin Theroux and Woody Harrelson. Also, Lena Headey. She was Cersei in Game of Thrones. This is about Domhnall Gleeson, Judy Greer as well. But this is about the guys who did the Watergate job for Nixon. Oh, yeah, and they're basically trying to help Nixon win the election by doing nefarious things.
Oh yeah,
and it's a comedy though.
Oh, that sounds good.
Yeah, the premise is good, but I don't know if I'm feeling it. And it's basically Justin Theroux and Woody Harrelson just like playing off each other. Mm-hmm. And I'm not sure if it's working. Like it took me 3 tries to get through the first episode. I'm not giving up on it because I think the premise is pretty cool and it's funny. Like, but it's just like, I don't know if the jokes are hitting. Cause it's interesting, you know, it's history or whatever, but it's obviously like not that accurate. It's very loose, you know, but overall it's a comedy. And like, I wasn't laughing at a lot of the jokes. So that's always a problem. And I mean, but it's interesting. Like Justin Theroux is like a Hitler enthusiast, of course, but he's not a Nazi. Doesn't support Nazi. He's just like Kanye. Like, but you know, Hitler had some good ideas. It was kind of like that,
like Kyrie.
Yeah, exactly. So he's like this weirdo character like that. He's like just super into German stuff. Probably a spy. Honestly, we're gonna find out. Who knows? And then Woody Harrelson's just kind of like a classic. Kind of almost reminds me of his True Detective character in a way. He's just like a dad with like a dysfunctional family, and he's just trying to like please Nixon, you know, please the president. You know, he's like a real patriot, you know, but he's, you know, kind of Texan type vibe. And they just like play off each other, you know. He's more the straight man. Justin Theroux's the goofball. And if you know anything about Justin Theroux, he wrote Zoolander. He wrote Tropic Thunder. He acted in The Leftovers, which is like a serious show. HBO. But he's like an amazing comedy writer. He was also, if you ever watch Zoolander, you know the DJ with the weird eye? That is him. Oh. Yeah, the one who's playing, what's the song? Relax.
Yeah.
Don't do it. So, I mean, he has...
It's like when you didn't know Alex Skarsgård was one of the models in there. You're like, he was in that?
I know. I'm still like, can't believe that.
During the gas station
Yeah,
scene.
I still can't believe that. Love that fucking scene too. Makes sense though. But I'm 1 episode in. I believe there's 3 episodes. It might only be 2, but I'm gonna stick with it because I fuck with Woody Harrelson and Justin Theroux. I just want to sometimes I get biased with these shows, and I just want to support and make sure like Justin Theroux is still doing his thing because I know him and Jennifer Aniston aren't together anymore. You know, I gotta support the boy, but I'm sure he's doing fine. But check it out, HBO.
She might be back with Brad Pitt, right? Didn't she get back with him or some shit?
I don't think anybody wants to be a Brad Pitt right now.
Canceled?
He is low key canceled. If you want to not like him, go read the FBI's. They basically wrote this. Like there was an incident on a plane where he was really drunk, a private jet with Angelina Jolie, and his son was there.
Did
and
he hit his? That heard something about like
he pushed the kid out the way. It wasn't like he hit him, but he pushed the kid.
They made it seem like it in the news and shit.
And it was the FBI. I mean, the FBI like did a dossier or whatever, like a report on it. You can read it, and it's the FBI. So
that's so crazy. The FBI had to do it.
Well, because she's suing him. And then it's like a big deal, and I don't know, probably because it was
adopted like 9 kids or something crazy,
right?
Like that.
But probably because it was at an airport. It's federal.
Yeah, federal.
And then the other thing is they're in a huge lawsuit over like a vineyard that I think she was trying to sell that they're co-owners of.
Oh, okay.
And that's like another that one's like a mega money lawsuit.
Damn,
so they're both going through it right now.
Okay.
But he's like looking like the bad guy.
Okay.
And I love him, but it just seems like every man in Hollywood is a piece of shit.
Except for Johnny Depp, right? He's still good.
No, what are you talking about?
What did he do? The Amber Heard?
Yes.
What did he do? I thought he won the court case.
Yeah, but dude, he was still awful though.
I mean, they were both awful. It's just like a toxic relationship.
Yeah, drunk.
But she like
pillhead.
I think it's like she did way more worse than him.
Well, yeah, she like shit on the bed and stuff. No, let's not.
I'm just saying. I didn't know he was a bad guy in this situation. So I thought he was a good guy in that whole
He's
situation.
Not great.
I didn't know, man. That's
but like he lost a court case in the UK.
Okay, I didn't.
And then won the one in the US, and I think they have another one coming up too. Okay. But I mean, he's not great. Let's just say he's no Pedro Pascal. Let's say that. All right, moving on to Citadel.
Oh, this is something new. I'm putting you on. This is if you liked Jack Ryan, Hunters. These are all shows, and The Peripheral, which I finished. I think I've already rated it. They're all on Amazon. And this movie or series is called Citadel, and it almost follows the same structure as the Peripheral, Tom Clancy's Jack Ryan, as it has to deal with a whole bunch of spying and agencies and stuff like that.
Espionage.
Yeah. So, I mean, it has Stanley Tucci, who's like in everything.
Yeah, he's great.
Richard Madden, who played Robb Starks in Game of Thrones. He looks way older in his like pictures on like Google. So I don't even know how old he is, but it makes him look old.
Robb Stark?
Yeah.
They have gray hair.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's like a global spy agency called Citadel Falls, and the memory of its agents has been erased. So they all have like these chips. And this is just from the bio, so I'm not giving you anything. Now the powerful Metacore, which is the group that is trying to come after Citadel, is falling into power in a vacuum. Citadel agents must remember their past and find their strengths to fight back. So Robb Starks is an agent. I'm not going to tell you what happens, but he loses his memory, obviously.
Yeah.
He's a spy, a top spy at that.
Top spy.
And he's really good. And he can't get his memory. Well, his memory's gone. And they all have these chips in their neck.
Yeah.
So, like, it's weird. So they can technically, like, reboot them. It's weird. And they're human, not like, it's just super high tech, like
future.
MI6 shit. Like, no, well, it's like present.
Yeah.
It's just like, they're just spies, man. Like, they just have that like MI6 type. They always got some crazy technology.
Yeah.
So like I said, Citadel has fallen their memory of their agents. So they have agents and they have these chips in their agents. So like if something happens to them, they can reboot their fucking memory. It's pretty cool.
Yeah.
I think it's kind of sick. That's what pulled me into it. I was like, oh shit, like that's kind of cool. Like,
Probably
like,
locate them too.
yeah, like no, you're right.
Yeah.
So they actually in one of the seasons, you're right, or the first episode, they can locate them through these chips and shit. Like so,
Gotta
it's
get
like
the chip out the neck. But if you take the chip out, you die.
But they don't even know they like. I think they know they have it, but of course, because their memory gets wiped if something like happens, like so like they could just
reset them, respawn.
Almost in a sense, it's almost like inhumane.
Yeah, well, almost.
It is.
Yeah.
But I think they sign up for it because obviously they're spies.
Yeah.
And it's kind of crazy because you can't trust anybody. It like starts off with the whole thing like you don't know who's like Stanley Tucci's like the head, I guess, of the Citadel, and he's like, it's kind of funny because like he gets robbed and convinces him to come with him somewhere, and he's like, I thought I could trust you. He's like, I'm a spy. You can't trust me. It's like it's one of those things where he's like, I'm a spy, man. Like you can't believe, and it's kind of cool because they literally something happens and they use their spy things like to get out of things, not like necessarily technology, but like this person's here or something like that, and you're like, what? Like just a bunch of spy shit. So I like the fact that it keeps you going. You're always like, I need to know what happens next. It's full of action, like a lot of high tech technology, which I like. Very fast pace. It's 6.4 on IMDb right off rip, 54% on Ryan. It's not even done. It only has 3 episodes out. It comes out every Thursday on Amazon.
Okay.
5.5 out of 10 out of Film Infinity. So like it's starting off with medium good reviews because it's like I said, it's only 3 episodes in. It's high packing action. I think anybody that liked Jack Ryan, which I was a fan of, I haven't started the new episode. Our new season of that because your boy is just spread so thin. I like to like just go everywhere. But I like new shit. Like the Peripheral came out last year on Amazon, and I could already tell that it had like spy. It was like action packed. I think Amazon does a really good job in their box when it comes to like Tom Clancy type films and series and stuff like that. They really nail it because Jack Ryan, that's like a 3 to a power 3.
There's one with Chris Pratt.
Yeah, the Terminal.
Yeah,
you got the
Terminalist.
Peripheral, which I think you'll like. The Peripheral. I think you'll. No, really I
watched it. I didn't like it.
You didn't like it?
No.
Oh, okay. I liked it.
Their country accent, I couldn't do it.
But the concept of the series was really good. I think you guys would like it if you watch it. It's different. It's
I'll
like
check this out though.
All in one, whatever. I think they take a little bit of the Matrix and science and Peripheral and use it a little bit. It might be a little bit redundant, but I feel like the way they talk about time travel, it's different. And I like that way they do it in Peripheral. It's not played. But this right here is more of a mix of like MI6.
Okay. All right. Well, let's keep this bitch rolling. Watch Citadel on Amazon. Support Jeffrey Bezos. Or don't. Last but not least, on the day, I went go see Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3, the end of a trilogy. This was the best Marvel movie I've seen since Spider-Man No Way.
Because I was like, you said Spider-Man. I think
Spider-Man
you said
No
was really
Way
good.
Home.
Yeah.
And then before that,
You said WandaVision.
Well, I'm not counting the shows because
Okay.
none of them are really on that level. But this movie is a lot of fun. I highly recommend it. James Gunn, he is now the head of DC. So Kevin Feige is the head of Marvel. And James Gunn, people don't remember, or if you do, but I'll refresh it. Disney canceled him because he had like some anti-gay tweets, something. He was like cracking a joke on Twitter a long time ago, and they canceled him after he did Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2. Batista stood up for him. A bunch of the cast stood up for him. Then they allowed him to do Guardians of the Galaxy Christmas Special and Volume 3. But I think it left a bad taste in his mouth, and he switched over to DC. He did Peacemaker, and he also did the new Suicide Squad, which I enjoyed both of those. And with this movie, you can tell that he had a lot more power, and Disney's influence wasn't there. Because, I mean, there's like curse words in this one. There's a lot of violence in this one.
Okay.
There's some scene. I was actually kind of shocked that some of it was PG-13. There's some animal cruelty in it, which is like, it was really upsetting. I'm not even gonna lie. I was like tearing up in this movie more than you would ever imagine. The stakes were higher. The CGI looks crispy. Finally, some good fucking CGI on one of these Marvel movies. The whole cast, I think, got to shine. And I just liked it a lot. I'm gonna give it 3 swipes. I wish that like Black Panther got this kind of treatment, you know, because he deserved it. Chadwick Boseman deserved like a good movie, you know, like something that wasn't so Disney-fied. I mean, he died. Like, let's go outside of it. Let's have Shuri be angry and do some real violent shit.
I
you
would
know?
have wished Jordan B would have came back and
Something.
Yeah.
I mean, just
what I
not
was
so
hoping.
cookie cutter, because
it was
like
cookie cutter as hell.
like this Guardians of the Galaxy, there was some kids in the theater. I was like, I don't know if these kids should be here. Like, there was some
Isn't
questionable.
it PG-13 though?
It's PG-13, but like, trust me, when you see it, you're gonna be like, God damn! Like, there's like some decapitation and like real dirty jokes, and you know, a lot of that would go over their head. But like I said, the animal cruelty stuff alone was like, damn. But it was great, a lot of fun. Of course, it's not perfect. Of course, there's some plot holes, but overall, it feels like a return to form. But right as James Gunn's leaving, like Disney's fucking up because losing James Gunn, like he's one of the only like directors I feel like that actually like had power at Disney. Like everybody else, they just walk all over, you know, all the producers, I guess. But I enjoyed it. There's also Do You Realize Flaming Lips song is in the movie. And I was like, oh, I just saw this yesterday live. So that was kind of cool as well. But I highly recommend this movie. Go do it. It might beat Mario.
Okay.
It's definitely going to cross $1 billion. And yeah, that's it for the week. We're going to go out.
I feel like movies are like NFL quarterbacks. Like, oh, this is the highest paid, right? And then another one comes out. Oh, this is the highest paid movie. Oh, this drop. This is the highest paid. It's like no one ever stays on top. As soon as another movie comes up, it's just like, oh, eat this one.
That's inflation for you.
Yeah.
And that's the show. See you next time.